Hello YouTubers. In this video we're going to be working on my 2009 Saab 9.3 Aero cross-wheel drive. In this video I'm having a problem where when I back out the driveway or pull out the driveway, I hear just some slight faint noise in the passenger rear area. My thought process is that it's going to be the shock mount, so that's what we're going to work on today. I'm guessing that the shock might be moving around inside of the mount. Maybe the bushing is bad or something. And we're going to replace that because it coincides with car moving up and down. And that's what we're going to do. So let's get the car turned around, sunny side out, so that way we can, it's cool here. So I'd rather work in the warm. And let's get this thing turned around, the wheels off and in the air, and let's work on our shock mount. Here are the tools you're going to need. You're going to need a 16mm wrench, preferably a box end for the top of the rear shock mount. You're going to need a 7mm to hold the shock in place. You'll see there's a hex head and then there's the bolt. You'll need that. This is an E14, that is to remove the shock mount bolts. A socket. This was a pry bar. This acted as a pry bar, and you'll see it in the video. Some paint, touch-up paint for where I scraped things with the pry bar, and then a torque wrench for 39 foot-pounds, and then a light if you need it. So here are our parts. This is the part number. There'll be a link to them in the description below, but they came in a nondescript box with no outer packaging, so this is what we got. These are Saabs, so let's get them installed. So in preparation, okay, what I wanted to do real quick is to interject one big point. Do you see the round hole right there in the metal area of the car, the red? Behind that metal panel, these three bolts attached to a welded nut behind this area. And what Cyclone Sid did in his video, he broke the nut behind this red panel. You can't get to it, you can't see it. So what I'm doing is I'm PB blasting, obviously the parts I see right here in front of you, the three bolts. But I'm also going to insert my PB blaster wand thing, whatever allows me to reach down in there. I'm going to PB blast behind this panel so that the oil can get onto the back of this screw. And what I don't want to do, what I'm very, very leery of is these bolts breaking off behind this panel. And I absolutely do not want that to happen. So I'm going to do everything I can to prevent that. And to do that is going to be PB blasting what parts you do see and the parts behind this panel that you don't see. For this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start by PB blasting the bolts, both sides of the car, and we will pick back up tomorrow, PB blast that as well. That way this stuff can, throughout the day, the rest of the day, what I'll do is I'll continuously come out here and spray it off and on every few hours, and then tomorrow should make our lives easier. We'll find out, but that's my theory anyway. See you tomorrow. All right, YouTubers, these have been marinating for a day. So let's see what we get. This is an E16. I'm gonna take it nice and easy. And it is on there good. I'm gonna be easy. That is on there good. Nervous. That one feels like it came loose. That one feels good. That one's loose. It's broken loose. This is as far as I'm going to take it right now. Since they've moved, I'm going to spray it again because I'm in no rush. I don't drive this every day. I'm going to put more penetration fluid on it, soak it again overnight because I don't want to break it. Odds are I probably still will, but I'm going to try to avoid it. So let me get some lube. Get my rag underneath. Yeah. And I'm going to go do the same thing to the other side. Attempt to break it loose a little bit. Break it loose a little bit, and we'll go from there. Anyway, we'll pick it up tomorrow. All right, it's been another day. And so I let it marinate again overnight. Let's see if we can't break this thing apart. We already loosened it yesterday, slightly, but we did. So we're hoping that behind this, the nuts that are onto the chassis are not stripped or anything wrong there. Hopefully these come out without a problem. So first thing I want to do is, again, I'm going to loosen this even more because I want to make sure that I'm not fighting this bolt when this all comes out. Okay, so what I have here is my 16 millimeter on the top bolt, and then I have a 7 millimeter on the hex head at the top, very top of the unit. Let's see if we can't break these loose. Yeah. Pretty loose. Pretty loose. That's nice. I was expecting it to still be tight like that one. I feel like I hear, I'm wondering if I hear what the screw behind this panel turning with it. So what I'm gonna do is put my finger, because I can feel the bolt behind this down in here. I don't feel it turning on my finger. Okay, it appears to be getting slower or less resistance. I'm going between loosening this, not creating too much heat on the bolt or the nut behind it, mounted to the chassis, and this bolt here. I've just been, so I don't create a problem. It appears to be getting better. Rack it off. I don't think this was my problem. Yeah, that looks intact to me. The rubber, you can't move it. It's solid as a rock. And it's obviously solid on the bottom. So this was not my problem. This top bump stop looks great. I'm going to clean the rest of this, but let's first put a new one on. Okay, so what I'm doing now is I am rethreading the nut back there because there was some resistance. You see how the nut, where it wants to line up somewhere in here, it's as far down as it goes. I want this thing to screw in by finger all the way to that level. So that way when I put this on, I'm not fighting getting it in and snug. It should already go on snug without resistance. And it is almost there. And now I'm going to get this first one started. And it's in there okay. Enough to hold it in place so that we can bring the shock absorber down. All right, that one is in. What I want to do now is draw it closer to the car with these two bolts so that when I pull down on this, it doesn't want to come out and not allow me to line up the bolt straight in. So let me just snug these up. Go ahead and put the top bolt back on. And we'll snug that up. Oops. That bolt is on. Okay, the shock mount here is 39 foot-pounds. All right. Wonderful. This side is done. I am going to put some touch-up paint on that, so that'll look ugly, but it won't rust. All right, we are done. Everything's nice and tidy. Everything's torqued to 39 foot-pounds. Yeah. Everything looks good. Anyway, let's put the wheels on, take it for a drive. And like I would expect, like I saw in the shock or the original one, I don't think that was my problem, but we're going to give it a shot. If it's not, then I guess it's going to be the sway bar end links, and you will see that in another video. Anyway, let's take it for a test drive. All right, the shock mounts did not fix the issue. I still have that slight, when the car's unloaded, meaning no pressure from wind or weight. Just got a slight little, just when you're backing up out of the driveway or just beginning to take off, and then it all goes away. So the shock mounts did not fix that. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to order up some sway bar end links, and we're going to put those in. So that'll be in a future video, but at least we've got new shock mounts for whatever reason. I wouldn't think they would ever need to be replaced. This one had 100,000 miles on it, and shock mounts look fantastic. So I don't know, just one of those things. Wanted to try to see if that would fix the issue. My thought was maybe the shock is moving in the mount, and it wasn't. So anyway, we live, we learn, and we move forward. Next thing will be the sway bar end link, so we'll get that ordered, like I said, and we'll get that on the car. Anyway, YouTubers, if you like this video, like the video,